Well, hello, David and Andre. Simon Hudson here with McDonald Realty. That is for your benefits, Andre. I've already met David. I spoke with David earlier about the property at 417-1211 Village Greenway. So I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update, a little bit of an understanding as well. So the market conditions here in Squamish, we have been flat for ever since actually David purchased it. It's gone up a little bit after that, and then it went flat and came down a little bit. We are now at a point where in Squamish we're expecting for the next 2 years to be a flat market. So I would anticipate up or down 2 or 3%, but nothing major to happen. Given the work that's been done on the property, comparable property that is similar that is currently listed that hasn't sold was listed at $514,900. Now that unit is on the second floor, so it definitely does not have the views or the location that David's unit or your unit has. So I want to take that into account when we're looking at what the value of the property is. So in that particular case, the location of his unit is much better, and then the renovations that were done are much better as well. However, he definitely did overdo the renovations. It's a much higher standard than what would typically be expected in Squamish. And unfortunately, when you renovate to that high standard, you typically don't recover the costs for that. So with regard to marketing this property going forward, love it when somebody's alarm goes off. Sorry about that. But with regards to marketing the property going forward, you're looking at a price point of probably around about $599,000 as a suggested list price. And that is a little bit high given the current market conditions. I know that you guys paid $506,000 for the property when you purchased it, and then you paid about $8,000 in property transfer tax. So we're up around about $515,000. With the $60,000 worth of renos on top of that, now you're going to be closer to, I think it was $578,000 that I calculated you're actually into the property for. So if we keep that in mind, the $578,000, and then we were to list it at $599,000, there's going to be about $20,000 plus GST and commission on there for myself and the person who brings the buyer along. So you're going to be very close to break even if you get a full asking price offer on the property, which is possible. So we have a unique situation here. As I mentioned, the market right now is fairly flat, but it has been incredibly active. So prices aren't changing, but there is a ton of activity in the market. That was precipitated because in June and July of this year, they had a very, very active Vancouver market. And as a result of the market being active in Vancouver, it draws people up, and it takes about 2 months for them to come up here. So September, October, and into November have been the busiest we've seen it for quite some time. Keeping in mind that prices aren't changing, keeping in mind where we're at, I think the strategy would remain the same. December and January are typically the slowest 2 months that we have in Squamish. So what I would be recommending is that we list the property on the MLS. We do that for a period of about 2 weeks just to get the information out to the realtors so that everybody knows what the property is. We would do professional photography. My wife is a professional home stager, so she would go in there and fluff it up. The quality of the furniture that's in there is quite good, so I think she could work with that to make the property look exceptional. And given that we can make the property look exceptional, that gives us the best chance to get a high dollar value for the property. So if we listed it at $599,000, we then leave it on the market for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, if we don't receive an offer on it at that point in time, we would then pull the property off the market and leave it off the market for the months of December and January, and then relist the property in, say, the first or second week in February, because that is typically when the market in Squamish picks up. Now, with all of that, go back to the listing. I would want to list the property on Tuesday. I would want to list it, and it would be tight, but I'd like to list it as early as next Tuesday, because I don't want to lose the possibility we have a buyer in November and the ability to get out to that buyer in November. So we would list the property on Tuesday, but I would need to get photos taken on Monday. So we'd need to get the staging done probably this weekend and get everything set up and planned out this weekend. Possible actual staging would occur on the Monday, but I would need to get David, you'd need to clean the property as quick as you can and get rid of as much stuff on the countertops that was in the bathrooms, in the bedrooms, like everything. You've got to get all that stuff folded, put away, all of that great stuff so the place looks as clean as possible. And then Andrea would have a canvas to work with to make sure that everything looks good. Now, from there, we would get the photos done on the Monday afternoon so that we'd have some good photos and a video tour done. That would then be able to be promoted to the realtors on the realtor tour on Tuesday. Realtors come through on Tuesday, then we continue with the listing, and then we market for a mega open house, which would happen on the Saturday or the Sunday. And then we would be looking at receiving offers hopefully on the Sunday evening. Now in Canada, or in BC anyways, you can request that we hold off of offers, but I would strongly advise against that, because holding off of offers can possibly prevent someone from writing an offer because they don't want to go into a multiple offer situation. On the other hand, if somebody sees the property and they really like the property, it gives us the opportunity to get you an offer where somebody does not want other people to see it, so they'll write a good offer right up front. So the renovations that have been done to the property certainly make it exceptional. The view of Garibaldi at the back is excellent. The 2 decks are also excellent. So I think it holds a lot of merits to it. I think the likelihood of getting the higher price for the property isn't fantastic, but if you're going to proceed with trying to sell it, I think the $599 price point is where we need to be, and that'll give us the best option. We would actually target the people that are looking for new developments, because this would be a new development type property because of the work that's been done, but in an older concrete construction building. So those two blend together to be an area where we could try to target market people. So that's pretty much it. In case you've noticed, I have a little mustache going. That's a bit of, I'm not sure if Andre, if you'll be aware, but in Canada in November, guys grow mustaches to support prostate cancer. So hence it's Movember and I am growing a mustache. It does not look great, but it is what I have. Other than that, guys, if either of you have any questions at any time, feel free to call me at 604-892-8155, or you can send me an email to the email that this video is attached to. And other than that, let me know anything I can do. Happy to help out, but ideally I think you should get on this quicker as opposed to later, but the choice is yours. Thanks very much, guys. Have a fantastic day.